Good science, by definition, allows for more than one opinion. Otherwise, you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of cult.
If it's not in the frame, it doesn't exist.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown and you lose you?
Where you been?
Drunk. Wendy. Darling. Light of my life.
What's your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
I like death with sex. How about you, Casey? You like sex with death?
Yeah, so fuck off and die.
You tell her to get in here. Well, you know, the least she could have done is gone on to the Reddit and said, and been like, here's an essay about why Shrek is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Right?
I really don't know why this. I don't know how this movie got memed so hard. I mean, I guess it's just like our generation.
Yeah, I mean,
we started.
It's pretty classic,
collectively
man.
using the internet.
This is a Cult Cinema Knowledge podcast. I'm Levi. That's Jordan. In
Hello.
case you're wondering, like, why are these guys talking about Shrek? And it's because obviously this month is Medieval Movie Month, and so
we got to start it off with one of the classics.
Clearly, Shrek is the go-to. Which honestly, I mean, I watched it a couple years ago, but I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's got all the tropes. It's got, you know, swords and peasants and stuff, and that's fine. The medieval, I'm glad. Medieval is always a like, you can tack medieval onto anything, and it automatically kind of makes it better. So I'm like, yeah, tack
Right.
medieval.
I have fun. I have fun with like that period piece.
Yeah, if Twilight was
I
set
enjoy...
in fucking like a castle in the medieval ages, it would have been 10 times better.
And I think, well, exactly, you're right, because it's like,
you know,
it's
that
like
contemporary movie, Twilight.
Vampires are, you know, kind of medieval, but like,
I know,
not inherently like.
Well, it's interesting because we just watched sort of a medieval movie with Young Frankenstein.
Oh, see, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Young
and
Frankenstein has
Aguirre, those were the ones that got me to scratch the itch. So, but this movie is neither of those. This is Shrek.
Are you satisfied now? Do you feel have you been purged of your
No, I got three more weeks of just medieval,
Yeah.
and I'm not digging deep. I'm going to dig deep for some of the next ones, so.
I know, right? Yeah. Let's put something on there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was trying to, this last week, I was trying to do, oh, yeah. I'm going to get some weird ones where, like, no one votes because they've never heard of them.
I know, yeah.
That's what
right.
I want that real good interaction,
that
fan interaction of, like, 4 people voting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love that.
Anyway, so today, we're talking about Shrek. You all know Shrek, 2001 Shrek, you know?
You really do. Like,
hey
if you
now,
don't know Shrek,
also, you get it.
then you're literally a child. Like, I don't. It's like if you've
that's the thing.
If you've used the internet like once in your life, you know Shrek.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like children know Shrek more than like it's basically if you're over 30, you don't know Shrek. But everyone.
No, I disagree.
No, you're wrong, dude.
We're both over 30.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like Shrek was made for us originally.
Right.
Us and a little bit, you know, a smidgen. Like we were the cap of as old as Shrek was made for. Because we were like 12 when this came out, right? 10, 12.
Yeah.
Somewhere there.
Yeah.
And I remember it fondly. And it's like, this is aimed to like the, you know, 7 to 10 range initially. But it's like an animated film that pretty much anyone can enjoy. You know, it's not like specifically fucking Nick Jr. or anything. Or Disney Jr. rather. But, yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but it's been around so long. There's been so many sequels. There's fucking Shrek, everything. And my kids know who Shrek is. Every kid I know knows Shrek. Just because it's one of those movies that's like, I don't know. It's just been around so much for like, I don't know.
Well, it became DreamWorks like, it's their Mickey Mouse. Like,
yeah, kind of.
Unofficially. Cause
DreamWorks, that is what helped them give the gusto. So
Right. This definitely put them over. I mean, I'll tell you later how much they grossed, and this movie's like fucking astronomical. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's crazy. It's crazy what they did though, because this was like a long shot initiative. Like, this was something they were like, all right, we're gonna really put our money in, and we're gonna try to like compete with Pixar, because that was the big.
Yeah,
that was their competitor. Like, Pixar came out in '95, totally changed the fucking ball game.
This would we'll get into it a little bit more, but this I put in my review or on Reddit, I think. I'm like, this would have been impressive if it wasn't for Pixar, because it's like
Right,
this stuff at
right.
the time. This is like peak Pixar. Like this is the same year
Well, they were-
Monsters Inc. came out, so it's like
No, this was when they made this movie before or like during Toy Story's heyday. Like they had it lined up.
Yeah, 'cause
and then
Toy
Chris
Story 2
Farley,
came out in
Chris Farley
99.
died.
get the
You know that,
fuck
right?
outta
You
here.
obviously know all this, right?
Sorry, I gotta
This
pop
is
up.
kind of everybody in. Wait, are you ready?
Yeah. Everyone, I know. Yeah,
Everyone in podcast land, you guys probably know this. It's kind of common knowledge. But if you didn't, this movie originally had a different cast attached to it, and they did like pretty much the whole thing. They did like all the voice acting and a lot of the animation they built around Chris Farley.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing the voice, and then his heart went to heaven, and his heart got a hold of a speedball and went to straight to heaven. Rest in peace,
as
my
they're
fat
want,
king.
as
I
hearts
love
are want to do.
I
you know?
fucking love Chris Farley's like one of my idols, so it's like,
I plan on going
say-
out with a speedball.
I know, baby, yeah, dude, just fall through a plate glass window. But anyways, Chris Farley was going to do it originally, so this movie went on hiatus, and they had to like redo everything, and they totally changed the branding. And you can go out there on YouTube and you can find Chris Farley's. There's a bunch of his,
I've
voice
seen
acting
it.
and his.
And I obviously much prefer, in general, Chris Farley to Mike Myers.
Sure.
Like,
But
nothing wrong with Mike
he's-
Myers.
No, he's dude. It's depressing.
It is. It's
Chris Farley's
it's not.
is a lot more depressing.
I much
like,
preferred Mike Myers, but I listened
no,
to Chris
Mike Myers.
Farley's, and I'm trying
yeah.
to ask myself, I'm like, is it depressing because I know he's a corpse, or
yeah,
what?
right.
But it's
no,
like,
I think it,
no,
but
it
does. You
sounds
can-
like he's just trying to get through the takes so he can go do an 8-ball, you know? Like,
right. No, he
unfortunately.
definitely. Yeah, he was like at the peak of his like use and abuse and his like depression. So it comes through, and it's like it just feels awkward and disjointed, and like I don't know. And Mike Myers has such a fun. He already does that like Scottish-esque.
Yeah,
he makes fun of his Scottish heritage
Yeah.
with like his voices and his like and his character acting and stuff. It's like Mike Myers is a fun, kooky dude. So I think he like
Yeah,
fit,
yeah.
he melded perfectly. into
I
the,
like
the
Mike
Shrek.
Myers. I honestly
know.
think he should do, because he's so into like, he does so many crazy weird characters in like live action that I'm surprised he's not in more voiceover, because it's like,
That is true. Yeah.
you think of all of his weird fucking one-off characters and being like everyone in Austin Powers and like Cat the Hat and shit, and in Inglourious Bastards and everything, and but it's just like
Yeah,
he's not really, he doesn't really have that many like voiceover stuff, which you think he would, but anyway, do I need to do a synopsis?
I know, right? We kind of skip, kind of like
You know,
move past it. You
if
can give
it's-
him a tiny little
if
rundown.
you haven't
want.
seen Shrek since you were 20, or I mean, since sorry, it came out 20 years ago. If you haven't seen Shrek in 20 years, so Shrek is about an ogre, lives in a swamp. Fucking all these fairy tale creatures end up getting sent to a swamp because fucking what is he, like a duke? Fucking God, why am I forgetting his name?
He's a lord.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lord Farquaad.
Farquaad.
Farquaad is like trying to take over the land. He's sending out all the fairy tale creatures to Shrek's land, and he meets Donkey, a talking donkey, and they kind of, Donkey like wants to be his friend, and he's like, no, I'm an ogre, but he's like, I want everyone off my land, so I'm gonna go talk to Lord Farquaad, and he goes, and then Lord Farquaad's like, oh, why don't you go capture this princess for me, because I need to marry a princess to become king. And so he's like, fine, fuck it, as long as you get everyone off my land. So he fucks off with Donkey. He goes to the princess's castle and defeats the dragon, which turns out to have the hots for Donkey, because it's like just a sexy dragon, and he flirts with her, and she's like, oh, that's nice.
That dragon's got some
hot.
dripping poonanny, dude.
Yeah, that dragon, it does it for
That dragon
me in
is
a weird
not
way.
rated PG, dude.
No.
It is not rated PG at all.
You know, but then it turns out that Princess Fiona, the princess, has a curse on her that at night
Also,
she turns into
hot
an
punani.
ogre. Yeah.
yeah.
Dripping. And so, but she's hiding it because she's ashamed. But since she's half ogre or whatever, her and Shrek start falling in love. But then there's like a huge, the low point of the movie, there's like a huge misunderstanding, and she goes off to marry Lord Farquaad, and he's like, my swamp, I'm meant to be alone just when I was trying to open up. But then he's like, Donkey gives him the fucking paw slap or the fucking hoof, and he's like, no, she loves you, you fool, and she's an ogre or whatever. So they go save her, and Lord Farquaad gets eaten by a dragon, and then they kiss and that's real true love, and then she's just an ogre now, and they play another Smash Mouth song at the end.
I know, yeah.
Which
The Smash Mouth's the only mouth I want in my life.
Did we? So that's Shrek. You remember?
That was cool, yeah.
Did we
That worked
kill
out.
the lead singer of Smash Mouth?
Dude, I know. I'm like, we got to do like, who should we need to use this power for good? Like, is there somebody like a Mel Gibson's got to have another movie coming out? Can we watch that?
Yeah, he
And
does.
so we kill Mel Gibson. Can that happen? I'm like,
I was legit worried.
I'd love to use this for good.
I didn't think about it till after the fact, but next week's it didn't win anyway. But next week's poll, I didn't think about it. I put 2 Ridley Scott movies, and I was like, oh man. After the lead singer of Smash Mouth died, I was like, I don't know. Ridley Scott's getting up there, bud. I don't know if I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
But Nicholas Winding Refn, he's younger, I think. I mean, he's like 50, I think. Late 40. Anyway, so Shrek,
we'll be safe.
you can't be with Smash Mouth. I honestly, the weirdest thing I noticed about this movie, because it starts off the gate, right? With
dude.
hey
Yeah,
now in the credits.
Right.
And
yeah, it
can you-
doesn't let up.
Can you tell me, I know, can you think of another time where it plays the song in its entirety? It was like 2.5 minutes. Like in movies,
Yeah, right.
You don't
The
play
whole-
a pop song for the whole 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like the credit sequence ends and then it just like keeps going. And these peasants are like lurking around the swamp, and it's like, hey,
that's
now.
right. It does show the whole through the whole thing. It's like it's them like coming together, and it's the montage of like it feels like the end of a second act. Like it doesn't.
It
feel
feels like it broke. Like somebody was like, well, we got the rights.
Yeah.
But forgot to
really.
turn it off. But I don't know.
Dude,
It's
no
like,
one thing.
it was weird.
I'm gonna say one positive thing. I mean, this movie's fine. It does what it does.
I like it. You're
But
you're jaded, bro.
I'm not even like that's the whole funny thing is like I don't even really hate this movie.
This movie's pretty
I just
good.
think it's mediocre, and that's fine. It's like it doesn't.
I think it's slightly
it's
above
not-
average for what it is.
Sure, right, but I mean, it's like it's
up
very childish, and it's super like it's so like shoestringed together. Like it's such an easy plot. And there was something I'm so mad because I was talking about it after we watched this, and there's some easy things to fix it to make like a lot more drama and tension in between it and a larger impact on their relationship. But I realized that this might be because there's three movies. This might just kind of be like the first act of their overarching story.
There's more than 3.
Is there more than 3? Well, whatever. I don't know. There's 3 that showed up when I was looking up Shrek. But so there's 3 definitively, and I would be curious if they evolved the story more. I've never seen a sequel. I've never seen another one.
You've never seen Shrek 2?
Never. Why? No. Why would I ever? I didn't like this one.
You're a disgusting.
why would I?
Why don't you like it? I don't understand. I can
just-
understand. It's pretty vanilla. Like it's got
Right,
a little bit of a bite with its like there's some light cursing in it, which for a like PG is nothing new, but for a animated movie, at the time and rewatching it, I'm like, because I remember there was like some controversy. They like put it on streaming and they took out like ass and damn and everything.
Oh, right.
And I say controversy in quotes, but it's like, it's sort of vanilla as far as like its plot structure, but it's like, it's fine. It does everything fine. Everyone likes the sequel probably more, but I think it's just at that one, it just leans way too heavy into like pop culture reference, where this one, it's like, there's some, but
Well,
the
that's what
jokes
I wanted to
are
say.
more just like dick
I wanted to get
jokes
out of the way. Right. I want to get out of the way though. The thing I really appreciate about this movie, and I think is like, I think they did it. It's like the subtlety of their digs at Disney. The fact that they were like, this like literally is just if they like took the Disney structure of like creating the parks and like Walt Disney's plan for like everything.
Yeah, and the
Disney
princess,
related,
it literally has
and
like Snow White
they
in it.
literally
and shit.
Well, no, the whole thing is like what fucking rules is that they took because Disney, it's all intellectual property. It all exists. It's all part of the whatever it's called, the public domain. So it's like all these stories can be told in any way you want, just not Disney IP. So Disney owns their direct like drawing,
their
of
version
Snow
of
White,
it, right?
like
the
you can't
iconic.
use like. Yeah, and that's what's fun about like Simpsons has done it. I mean, everyone who's ever parodied anything Disney related, you can do it so close. But if you like, you cross that threshold, they'll come for you.
That's
But
why
anyways,
the one they come
that's what I
down on hard
appreciated.
is Mickey Mouse, because that's the
Right.
Disney one where all their movies are like just fairy tales, old school fairy tales.
It's all
right?
yeah. All these are like grim fairy tales and like Mother Goose and all that fucking shit. So it's like it's all these like stories that exist, so anyone can use them. And DreamWorks like did that, and I think that's why this movie stuck out so well. Is like it has all these fairy tale tropes that everyone loves, that Disney has slammed into our heads since the 30s, and so it's just like that. I think they had that catalyst behind it, and then how satirical it was. I really appreciated that. I thought and I noticed it a lot more on this, where it's like oh, that's really funny. Like even just Disneyland being like his, they like made fun of the parking lot.
Duloc or whatever, and they got
Duloc.
the welcome to Duloc, and it's the song that's basically like it's a
song,
small world and everything.
Small world,
Yeah.
right, yeah, like and it
which is good.
Yeah, right, and that's what I mean. Those are fun bits, and I enjoy that, and it's cool. It's like him taking a huge ass rip in the pond and a fish dies. Those are like that's for children, right? Yes,
that's fine.
That's right. It's fine, but it's like why would I? I'm not
appreciate
I'm
that.
not trying to watch this movie.
Well, I appreciate that because it
it's
feels
fine.
more like written. Where so it's like I know you haven't seen the sequels and stuff, but it's like it became more popular. Like the number 2 is pretty good, but it reminds me very similar parallels to Toy Story 2, like 1 and 2, and then Shrek 1 and 2. It's like they just sort of like went bigger, harder with more like gags, and it's like ultimately it's like they're doing it better technically, but it's just like I don't know. I appreciate the simplicity of the story,
the nuance. You liked, you thought the nuance.
It is. I mean,
one?
it's simple.
I get
It's super boiled, like you said. It's super plain, but it's like I appreciate how boiled down it is because for a kids movie, an animated kids movie, it's like. It's pretty good characterization, like better than you see in most, like Shrek and Donkey and them. Like they have a very straightforward 3-act structure, character arc, and everything. But it's just like, I don't know, like that's the focus though, and it's not like trying to jam all these weird stuff into it, which I feel like so many kids movies post like 2010 do. And it's like it's hard to separate myself from like just being a grown up, I guess, because it's like. I'm like, oh yeah, all kids movies after 2010 are fucking trash. And I'm like, like as soon as I graduated high school, came like 20, it's like obviously. And it's like, I don't think it's just nostalgia, but it's just like, obviously like 95 to 05 is like the best 3D animated shit. And I think this was a pretty good swing. Like it's hard to compete with Pixar in that era, but it's just like, this movie holds up and I'm definitely going to watch it again. With my kids, probably, because they like it. And I get, I've seen a lot of stupid kids movies recently, and it's like there's only so many you can rewatch so many times.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like the voice acting is phenomenal. Eddie Murphy, like, he fucking kills it. I mean, it's Eddie Murphy. It's like
it's his best role since Adventures of Pluto Nash.
He's so funny, dude. And like, it's amazing because I have nothing to back this up. This podcast is all passion and all opinion, but I know for a fact
we're hot takes. This is not like an academic podcast.
No. I know for a fact Eddie Murphy has got at least 6 hours of him just fucking babbling. Like I guarantee you each take is Eddie Murphy just doing like he's like let me go, like whatever. It's like they're like all right Eddie, this time okay, Mr. Murphy, okay, your character the donk, he's walking in and he's going to do a circle on a couch and he's going to sit down and he's going to say I'm making waffles. I'm going to make, and in the morning he's explaining what he's going to do, and he's like, in the morning I'm making waffles. And so Eddie Murphy was like, oh, all right. And then he's just like, hey, Mr. Lamp, hey, what's up? And he's like, I guarantee you $1 million.
And they're like, sir,
it's
it's 10 seconds tops.
You're literally, you got 3 lines right here. If you could just say them. And I know for a fact, because like there's times where it's like he's just like railing off. Like I know for a fact they were like, well, we got to edit some of this in, dude. He just keeps going. We're only paying him for the hour. And it's just,
like you're right, because it's so like machine gun blast.
So much,
dialogue,
dude. Yes.
That it does feel like the editor had to be like, oh shit, he takes a breath. Ooh, cut it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like,
no,
sync
reals,
the mouth up, which
I love it, and I appreciate that.
In this, I also something that really stood out to me in this movie, and again, it would be impressive if Pixar wasn't if this wasn't the same year Monsters Inc. came out, which is like one of the best,
one of the greatest. Yeah.
But the facial animations, especially this is the age of like doing everything manually. There's no mocap, right? The facial animations and like the syncing with like making these characters expressive in an age, especially like, the humans still look a little weird, but an age when like, those are the hardest things to do, but it's like making a donkey and a fucking ogre man like have such expressions and sometimes like without dialogue to like sell their expressions. I thought was like really good job. And like the foliage was really, I feel like the foliage was ahead of its time. Honestly, I was like, man, look at that grass.
I agree. No, I agree.
He's like making footprints in the grass.
Backgrounds were beautiful in this, but it was so dark. It might have just been my version. But I'm like, I want to go back.
Muted.
I'm like,
it's a little muted.
I'm looking at. It's so weird though, because I'm looking at stills right now, and the stills must be like color corrected or bumped up, or the version that I was watching, my TV must be like 2 tones darker. Because I gotta
change your picture settings, homie.
This is wild, dude. I have to change my picture settings because the whole time I was like, God, it seems muddied and dark. It's got to be my TV because I'm looking at stills right now and they look fine. But anyways, that was something where I'm like, it was weird. It just felt dark, but it almost feels like
it's earthy.
Too rendered.
That's my thing. It's like earthy. Yeah, too rendered.
Like it feels too rendered a little bit.
Well, because I feel like at this time, 2001, that's still fairly early.
Yeah, totally.
They weren't experimenting very much with, like different type of like taking real world like focal lengths and like lenses into the virtual space. So it's like everything is just in focus pretty much. Or it's like they're trying to like make it not in focus by just having basically looks like low texture res in the back. But it does feel like everything is just all the time bordering on like video game cutscene type shit. You know what I mean? And
I'm watching a trailer now of it, and it just like half of it's VeggieTales, and then the other half is like Pixar. Like it's so weird. It's like you could definitely tell where they were like, well, we're gonna put our money on this principal character, but like this background character is gonna look hideous.
That's the thing too. It's like sometimes,
but it sometimes holds up for like 2001.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Dude.
Yeah, sometimes it looks cinematic, but I see what you're saying. Like other times, it's like very like digital, and like the color scheme they did go with. The sequels are much more poppier and bright and have way more shit going on. But everything's very earthy. Obviously, lots of greens, lots of browns. Like it's all in a forest, dark castle stuff. Which that's the good medieval good is that castle scene, which is just classic.
I love. Yeah, dude, the fighting a dragon, that was fun.
Yeah,
that's always fun.
Yeah, that's always fun.
And like. They do. It's like I don't know, man.
It's fun.
I have nothing bad to say about this movie. It's like my funny like story about this because I was trying to get Victoria to come in.
The whole fucking reason we ended up putting Shrek on here in the first place.
She is 100% because we said medieval, and her first thought was Shrek, and so she wanted to put Shrek, and so we watched it together, and I was like, "You've got to do the pod with me," and she's like, "No, I won't do it," and I'm like, "All right, coward," but she knows every goddamn line to this movie, and I don't know why. Like we was like, I don't know, like 2 years ago, we sat down to watch this movie because it was just like a dumb thing to do, and we're watching it, and she straight up is just like every single line, and I'm like, how do you know every line of this movie? I'm like, I've seen this movie like maybe now 3 times, maybe 4, because maybe I saw it. I remember seeing it in theaters, and kind of being like amused, but it was like I don't know. I thought Pixar was better before.
12-year-old Jordan, he was already full blown hipster. It was like that's when it came out.
I know.
He's just like,
I know.
I've seen Fight Club. You know, like,
it's because well, yeah, right. But no, it's like, but it really was like it kind of was like that actually. Yeah, I did see Fight Club in theaters, but it's like I totally straight up like was like Pixar was already doing something better. Like Pixar was like a real adult movie that kids could enjoy. Like that's the thing.
It definitely came out. I was definitely like amused. Like it was for like my little brother who was like 5 at the time. He fucking loved it. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like this is fine. You know, it's funny. And
I had the fatigue too because it's like I swear didn't fucking
12-year-old you're already
Austin
just
Powers.
Man, I'm getting
No,
sick of these fucking 3D animated
I
movies.
feel
It's
like-
like move on to the
No,
next
no, no,
thing
no.
already.
I think it was because Austin Powers 3 came out like right before, I think, right, 99 or something, or maybe not, maybe
Yeah, 2 I think came out in
I think-
'99.
2 came out in 99, right? And
Yeah.
even then, I don't know. I was kind of getting the third Austin Powers is like
Yeah.
that was exhausting.
But
it's
first two
like-
were good, but again, same thing. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
like a trilogy thing, man, because it's like the first Austin Powers is like sort of simple, and then the second one is like
Yeah.
it's fun and it's cool, but it's like
yeah.
too much with its gags. Like that's a comedy. Like it's hard to tote that line. I don't know.
I know. Well, I always go back. I've said this before in the podcast. Go and quote me. But How to Train Your Dragon, dude. That is a post 2010 movie,
That's a good
and those
one.
are all phenomenal.
Yeah.
all three of those are solid.
I haven't
So,
seen all of them. I was
I
gonna
don't
say
know, man.
I've seen the first one like a couple times, and I've seen like half the second one. But every time I'm like, oh, I should watch the second one. I'm like, I gotta go back and watch the first one though. But then I'm like, no, I remember
Then you-
I remember the first one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I get stuck in a weird loop. I should watch them because I do like those ones. And Jay Baruchel or whatever who does the voice, I like him. Dude, I get where Victoria's coming from because there's quite a bit of this I remember. Like I can just is ingrained in my brain because I've seen this probably like 15 times.
Well, and I know that. I see. That's I mean, that cool. I don't know. And even you, because you had younger brothers or younger siblings.
I've,
and like,
yeah, I'm the oldest of fucking
you know,
10. I've seen it a bunch
yeah,
growing
right.
up, and since my daughter's been born in the last 3 years, this is the third time
Right.
I've watched it in 3 years.
Yeah, I mean the bit, the fucking gingerbread man bit is solid. I think that's the thing. This movie, like, they put a lot of like work hours into this thing. Like they put a lot of manpower, so it shows. It's not like
I mean,
a
it's
movie.
not.
That's
It's
the
not
thing,
gonna
I'm
like. That's what you're saying though. I get because
Yeah.
at the time when you compare it to Pixar, which is like it's fun and a good story, but it's also got that magic Pixar juice that made them so special, and it's like nostalgic and new and tugs at your heartstrings and says some human shit. Like,
Right.
it's hard to compete with that because if you forget Pixar exists and you just focus on just Shrek, you're like, yeah, that is a solid, straightforward movie. It's pretty funny, kids movie.
I do feel like if it came out in like, because it was slated, dude, for like 98 or like 99. It was supposed to come out way early, and so I feel like it would have probably sat differently too. I mean, I don't know, all the things built up. Even if it had Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy,
I want to see a 90s
Still.
live action, but like 90s version of Shrek, where it's just like a
Well,
guy, like of just like Chris Farley or someone in like a ton of makeup, and then just like then just do Milo and Otis that donkeys and shit, like in stop motion animate.
Oh my god, no! I want Eddie Murphy to be on all fours in a donkey costume, dude. That's what I want.
Yeah, just isolate that clip because that is all we want here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, I don't know. This movie, I just feel like there's nothing to like dislike other than it's like the humor's sort of crude, I guess. Like, it's like
I mean,
a lot of
that's-
dick jokes, a lot of fart jokes, and I'm like,
Well, dude, that was actually I was really
That's
surprised
fine.
when Lord Farquaad is in the bed.
he
and
gets
he's
like a
watching-
boner. And he's like,
he's watching the. Well, it's such an awkward thing because like
It's
I
creepy.
feel like they were gonna go further with a joke, but they just had him like lift his blanket and then it cut. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what? Or like, why? Why would you,
already
like-
he's disgusted. They
what-
probably
Yeah.
did, and then they showed it to someone, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this is horrific. You cannot put
Yeah.
this in a children's movie.
Well, yeah,
because
probably,
he's
like, they
Lord
probably had, like, him
Farquaad's
pitching a tent
already
or
such
something
a
and-
tweet. I know he's already
Yeah.
so creepy, and like you feel like the mirror is just like abused too. You know, he's just like, like, and Lord Farquaad's like, yeah, show me the princess.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah, Lord
he-
Farquaad's
he's
like,
disgusting, but he's such a good villain too. Just like this tiny short man syndrome, and he's probably my favorite just because I like John Lithgow so much,
Yeah.
and he just has so much fun with that. He's so stupid, but it's fun. I don't know. This whole movie's fun, and it's like it's silly, but it's light. Like you said, there's no real staying power other than the fact that Shrek and Donkey are pretty good characters with the good chemistry, and that's like what's most important. It's like
that is
the chemistry of their duo and Princess Fiona is like they all have such a good chemistry, especially for animated characters, that it's just like you root for them. Because I mean, same thing with I compare it to Monsters Inc. again, but it's just like one of the best things about Monsters Inc. is everything, but it's like Sully and Mike are
They're
the fucking greatest duo. Like they're so good together. On their own, they're great, but together they're fucking unforgettable.
God, dude, talk about a movie that's got so much heart. I'm fucking bummed when they break up, and then it's like in this it's like it's just everything's so fast. It just felt like it wasn't flushed out because they were.
It
just
does
trying
feel
to get
like
to
a
the
little
next,
stripped down. Like it is very like lean, but almost like you could have had a little bit like it's almost a little too lean.
I think they took a lot of like liberties with the pop culture references, and that can kind of hurt a movie in my opinion. Like, but
I agree.
It's weird. There's times where it's like it's kind of charming almost, and this has a lot of that where it is kind of like the Smash Mouth. It is like charming to have that in this movie, albeit like long, like you said, and kind of nauseating because that's the song. Like it is like I don't know. You can't like.
No,
think of
I
this
literally
movie
when
without
Shrek
that
got
playing in your
when we
head.
found out we were gonna do Shrek, that was the first thing I thought of, and then I forgot that there's the fucking cover song at the end that ends on such the high note where it's like, oh, everything's happy, but then it's like, no, they go off into the sunset, but we're gonna keep going because the song bangs so hard that we need to sell the fucking soundtrack. And Eddie Murphy's there being like, I'm a believer, and the three blind mice are fucking breakdancing.
I couldn't tell, dude. I couldn't tell if that was Eddie Murphy singing or if it was the cover and it was like
they didn't want him to sing,
weird, right?
but he did. And they were like, all right, we're putting it in.
Yeah. No, he read the script and he probably did every person's lines just in case they were like, just in case you need Donkey.
Just in case, I'll do every character and they're like, you know what, Donkey's the best fit for you. He's like, well, I did all my Shrek lines too, if you want. It's like it's got onion, like an onion.
Yeah, I'm an onion boy.
I don't know. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's good.
I do. Yeah, I do.
It's I'm glad because I feel like it is remembered a lot for its pop culture references, and especially you should watch the sequel if you ever. I mean, maybe get the hankering like with Victoria or something because it's pretty funny, and it's got Puss in Boots who's pretty cool, and so it's got some really good bits.
That's right. I haven't seen it. I want to watch the new Puss in Boots movie.
I watched part of it, and it's pretty good. But
maybe I have because Puss in Boots is so familiar, but I can't tell if it's just familiar because of.
It's in the zeitgeist,
baby.
Yeah.
Or if I've seen the movie. Maybe I have seen the second one. I just don't. I literally can't. This movie, I know all the beats.
It's got Meryl Streep in it. She's the.
No, I haven't seen it.
She's like the villain.
Don't they meet Fiona's parents?
Yeah,
that's a part of it.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen that movie. Is that the second one?
Yeah, that's the second one.
Maybe I've seen it.
Yeah,
I don't think
they meet her parents, and then like Meryl Streep's the fairy godmother who like put the spell on her and everything. Puss in Boots is in it, and he's kind of fun, and it's Antonio Banderas and all that. But it's
no, okay, yeah.
But the second one has a lot of pop culture references. Where this one, I feel like the most overt one is the Matrix kick.
I know, God,
which is like every movie. Every movie had to do that in the early 2000s.
Everything, anything that did anything, like every single.
If it wasn't the kick, it was the bullet dodge. You know what I mean?
So like exactly, yeah. Any movie made from like 99 to 200001 had that.
To. Even like the most serious films, it's just like they did like jumped up and did the bullet time.
I know.
But other than that, I mean, there wasn't too much, you know what I mean? Compared to, not as much as I remembered for some reason, because even though I've watched this 15 fucking times probably, I haven't like paid close attention in a really long time. You know what I mean? The last several times I've watched it have been...
Did you watch this with Gat?
No, because he didn't care.
Sure
he's already seen it. He also didn't get on the Reddit because he's been playing too much Starfield because he's a bitch. But he'll watch next week's movie with us, though. I'll make him. But it's I don't know. But I paid more attention this time because it's been the last like 5 times I've watched it. It's been like just a background shit or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it's honestly a perfect background movie. Like it's just inoffensive and fun, and like you can watch snippets of it and go, huh, and then just be that's it, and be on your phone or fuck off or whatever, drink, which. Drives me to drink.
I wish I was drinking during this movie.
I paid more attention this time, though, because it's like Emmeline, she was into it more than the last time. She was like, oh no, what's going on? Oh, the dragon. And I'm like, oh no, and she's like, oh, the dragon likes him, all that. I'm like, yeah, it's
hell
fun.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of fun seeing that perspective of like, it was okay back then, but I was a little too old for it. And then like, but seeing it now from like kind of young kids' eyes again, like I haven't since I was a teenager and watched it with my siblings or something. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of fun. It makes it a little bit more endearing. And it's like, honestly, a little bit more stand the test of time, just like being a movie from that era that will. Because honestly, yeah, there are very few post 2010, I feel like, that really stand out. We're coming back around, though, thanks to Spider-Man. We're getting some more good ones recently. But
And that, right.
But anyway, I don't know. You got a money minute for us, and I'll look up and see if there's a Reddit. I think there's maybe one from our old reliable.
Do we have any? I mean, I didn't get any.
Pretty sure Clones Are People too did one because I saw his, but
and Travis did not give us anything on this.
Travis.
I would be surprised if he watched it, but
well, I said it's like 35 and under. You know what I mean? That's the Shrek. You saw it when it came out, or you had children watching it over the years, but it's like he was already 40 when it came out. So it's like he's like, I ain't watching that fucking ogre bullshit.
I know.
So how much money did it make though? Because I am curious, because I obviously it's been around for so long and it's had that staying power, and it's one of the tent pole movies of DreamWorks.
Well, that's the whole thing. I'm never 100% sure when it comes to this, because sometimes they do. I think this is the gross for the franchise, but it says like all the information I'm getting right now is budget 60 mil, and world gross was 488 million.
No, that's this one.
And
that's got to be because
I could see it.
The franchise has made more than that.
Sure, right? Yeah, I had to have, but that's such a long number for this movie. Like, I guess I get it. It's like it was kind of the perfect time too. Like the world was healing.
Yeah,
we needed to forget.
We needed Shrek, and honestly, this movie makes you forget. It doesn't hit you with the hard things, other than like, maybe we, ugly people are people too. You may call that that guy in your class an ogre, but ogres.
Yeah,
ogres. They got layers. This guy's got layers.
Yeah, the layers. That's what I was trying. Like the whole time I was watching this, I'm like, I guess it's like it's just kind of fun, and I don't know. The message is so simple. It's just kind of like, be nice, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a fun. It's got the structure, like it does everything fun, but it doesn't. And it's like not every movie needs to do that, but it's hard not to compare it to early Pixar, golden age Pixar, which this was fighting against, which Pixar was punching. It was like, oh, we're all the fun stuff plus deep themes and feels and like, you're a grown adult that cries. I tear up.
Right.
I tear up during a lot of Pixar movies still. More so. I'm a fucking baby these days.
They like their formula. They've got it down. See, that's crazy, dude. I mean, Toy Story was 30 million to make, which is wild.
Yeah, 60 million seems like a lot though.
60 million is nuts.
Like a lot.
But 30 million, but
it's probably because they had to make it twice. Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. But they only grossed 400 million.
Maybe it's because it's more of an ensemble cast where it's like Shrek is like a mascot. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's hard to. You could say
and that was
Buzz
like
and
6
Woody.
years difference.
Yeah. That's quite a difference.
Like here, I'm gonna look up real quick. 99 was Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what their I bet their gross is wild. Oh no, really? Oh, but dude, they got 90 million for that budget.
Nice.
And they grossed 500 million. So crazy. God damn.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So, Clones Are People too says, the first time I saw this, it blew my mind. 12-year-old me, shut up. 12-year-old me loved it and found it so edgy with its humor and the subversion of love's true kiss trope, which was refreshing and new to see. The animation was stunning and the film was fun and full of jokes and characters I already knew. I watched it and its sequels a few times through the years, although I stopped after 3. Fast forward 20 years, I can't believe this is 20 years old, and today I'm rewatching it with my 7 and 4-year-olds. It's not their first time of this either, but they did enjoy it a lot. The butt and ass jokes hit the mark, Donkey is loved, and they are invested in the relationship between Shrek and Fiona. The biggest laughs go to the Welcome to Duloc song and when Fiona takes out Robin Hood. The 7-year-old remarks that the montage with Hallelujah makes her feel sad. As Levi pointed out last week, the children's animation genre is saturated with subpar film and crap. This is not one of them. A solid 8 out of 10, but more telling is that this has a spot on the list of good films that my kids will watch over and over, just not the third one. The third one's truly terrible. But yeah, thanks for that. Because I agree. But
I mean,
that's a good point.
I think watching it through children's eyes is nice. That's like that is the magic of it. I feel like.
And I think that's why it's not fair to compare it sometimes, because it's like this is such a simple story because it is like it's made for adults to enjoy, but it is aimed more towards kids. It's not like where a lot of other quote unquote kids movies that are good are like, oh, we're not making a kids movie, we're making a family movie. Like everyone can enjoy it. It's like a thing. This is a kids movie, but that it's like watchable for an adult. That's not like, you can laugh and there's some innuendos and things like that. Cause it's like, that's a good point where a 7-year-old is like, yo, I'm invested in this relationship because it's fucking simple and I can follow it easy as fuck. This song is making me sad with the montage. Cause it's like, and it's not doing it cheaply. It's just doing it sincerely. And so it's like, as a kid, you're getting all the beats, but there's that subversion of like the ogre and everything like that. So I think it really works, for what it is. But that's the thing.
Thank you
for
commenting.
It is very much
I appreciate
like
your
a
take.
3-star at best. Like it's,
Sure.
for me, 3 out of 5 for me. I do very much enjoy it, but it's like, I don't know. Jordan hates it. I don't know why. He's just such a hater. If you're watching the YouTube video, he's like, how could anyone like this? You fucking jaded ass.
You're reading that. You're reading that off of my sullen, sunken eyes today. I'm so tired. No, you.
He's like, nobody. If it should have been Chris Farley, because then he would have killed himself on camera. On voice acting. That's real edge.
That would have been real art, dude.
DreamWorks really wants to subvert the tropes. He should have fucking just shot his dick off.
No, dude, it's fine. I don't
Jordan's
like
an edgelord.
That's as much as I want to give this movie. Is like fine.
It's fine.
Right.
But when compared to, I do feel like even because I think what he is referring to is I was saying like specifically. I did mention recently I was talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which looks beautiful, but it's just like...
It's very hollow.
So hollow and boring, and like it's like this one at least like it strips everything down so that it can do everything that it does do well and is really easy to follow and you kind of care about, and it does move fast, but it moves at like a normal pace.
I mean, I think like I appreciate that it moves, that I got through it fast. It does not. I don't feel like an hour and a half movie that's 3 hours. It just like I felt every minute of this movie.
Yeah,
and so that's fine.
Well, that's because you're like, I want to be in the next room watching a fucking 60s French, silent French film.
I mean, like I whatever Wrath of God, Aguirre. Yeah. Aguirre, the Wrath of God is what got us into this, and that is true. That's like, I mean, I want to go back and give it 5 stars. Like it's fucking
honestly,
the movie's amazing.
The more I think about it, the more I like it too.
Yeah, like I've been thinking. I only think of Shrek because like Shrek is in front of me. Like I'm eating Shrek ketchup here in my fucking Nickelodeon house,
shit.
microwaving.
Do you remember Shrek ketchup?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
You just
because
like brought me back to the past, man.
I know. I had Nickelodeon. I had the whole Nickelodeon ketchup line. I totally made my parents. Yeah. I was probably a little too old, but I was like, buy me this ketchup, Dad. And he's like, all right, I'll buy you some purple ketchup, bud. And I was just like, whoa, and it's on my hot dogs, dude. Yeah, and I'd be like, whoa, dude, it's so purple.
Yeah, like, but your dad was secretly like he was in it for him too.
He probably loved it too.
I know he was all about that purple ketchup.
It's purple. Well, they had like purple, green, something else too.
No, because they had the green one with Shrek, and then they I got a purple one too. My grandma got me a purple one, and I was
the
like,
purple,
oh.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why is it like?
See, these kids
grainy?
don't know.
It was like grainy.
They've got their grimace. They got their grimace shakes, but we had our purple ketchup.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here with your shakes. We were back in
Yeah.
the day. It was the purple was from the lead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was purple because it was probably like they probably found like a rare species of flower or something. And we're like, well, let's just mine
These
to death.
tomatoes that are in this pesticide we blew on them made them turn purple. Great, turn that shit into purple ketchup.
Make it. Yeah, right. It's marketed.
Anyway.
Nickelodeon was like they had their hands in everything, all the gold.
I don't know. I think Shrek's pretty good at the end of the day. But I'm always torn.
All right, I turned around. Shrek's my favorite, but I'm watching. I'm going through all.
I'm always torn
6
because
movies. I got to see how many there are of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm always torn because part of me doesn't like to say this movie's good, like for its time or for its genre, like for what it is. But at the same time, it's like I feel like everything should be given context for its existence. And
Jesus
it's like,
Christ! I put in Shrek franchise, and it's years 2001 to present.
yeah,
It's still going,
Puss in
baby.
Boots counts as Shrek.
I mean, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
a TV series.
Oh yeah, dude. They don't.
Oh, what are the Shrek movies in order? Oh, so it just does that. It's Shrek, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, Shrek the Halls, baby. That's what I gotta see
Shrek
right
the
there,
Halls,
dude.
yeah.
I want Shrek to come down my chimney. Shrek Forever After.
That's like the fourth one officially.
And then Shrek 5 is being made.
I was gonna say
guess
I
it
don't
just
think
says
Shrek 5 actually came out because everything was like the spin-offs, but Shrek Forever After was like the last real one.
Yeah.
I never saw that one though, and I don't care to. But
Shrek the Halls, man.
I don't know. I do feel like this one's a lot more solid than especially a lot of other DreamWorks ones, and like especially like Illumination too. They're the fucking bane on my existence. It's like, and I don't know if I'm too old, but like the ones that did like Despicable Me and like all those.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Banana, dude. I know. I'm a Minions mom, dude. I'm on Facebook posting about my about my Minions.
You have a Minion tattoo, right?
Yeah,
You
I
got
know,
one.
right?
Just
No,
right here.
I don't know. That actually might be something I wouldn't get tattooed. Well, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
But
I don't think I'd get
I
a
don't
Minion
know.
tattoo.
I just don't know if I want a Minion tattoo.
I would like get one as like be like, will you pay me to do it because I'm a prostitute?
Sure.
Like,
Sure, I would.
I'll
yeah,
do
or
your
maybe, like,
brand. I'll like get a tattoo of your brand
Yeah.
for that, like Minion brand. Anyway,
maybe I'd get like a minion shaped like a croc or something. That would be funny.
yeah. We're running out of things to talk about. Did we do everything? Fuck it.
I don't know. I'm zapped. Oh, so
Jordan's got
my
an early
favorite
trip tomorrow.
I know. I got it. Yeah, I got to be up at like 5, bro, or like I don't know, either on the road at 5.
Like we don't have Travis or anything. We got the one Reddit, and I'm pleased with Shrek. It's fine.
yeah, right.
Jordan hates it.
Everybody out there in podcast land.
Jordan,
thank you for coming.
He's the
Thank you
guy.
for-
David and I always give him shit.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, this movie was okay. 1 star.
No, it's like I give it 2.5 stars, and that's like you guys are always like, "Whoa, you roasted it." I'm like,
2.5
that's
stars.
the middle. That's the middle.
Yeah.
2.5 out of 5. It's like that's a healthy.
Yeah, that's
It's a
like
healthy movie.
that's fine. Yeah.
And I'm not too good for Shrek. I think Shrek's great. Everyone.
I mean,
go
you
out there.
kind of look like Shrek, so you just got to get
I
one of
know.
those
I
cute
should
leather
go as-
vests.
Oh, I should get a little. We should cosplay as Shrek. That should be hard.
To be honest though,
That should be like
I
a
gotta admit,
cosplay.
every single time, not every time, but the last couple times I've watched this movie, I've had to look up Shrek Rule 34 because Fiona, ogre Fiona does it
Oh,
for
I'm
me.
sure.
I don't know what it is.
Dude, I'm sure. Yeah,
She's a badass
you really need
too.
You need to look up the Shrek the Shrek play. Have
No,
you seen that?
I've seen
Have
the
you
stills
seen
from that, and it looks
the
horrific.
picture. It is that is the cosplay. I want to. God, I'm looking at it right now. That's the cosplay I gotta go as, dude.
Yeah, can you?
Oh man, we don't like. I don't get musicals, man. That donkey is racist, dude. In the musical,
just
you
a
gotta
guy in
look at it.
blackface, like-
You gotta look at it. It's bad. Yeah. All right. Shrek the musical, dude. I dare you
That's
all
what
to
we're
look
watching
it
next
up.
week, actually. We were going to watch Valhalla Rising, which is next week's
But-
movie, but now we're going to watch Shrek the Musical because we just need to go down that road, you know?
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
It's bad, dude. Donking that is like
that's terrifying.
looking bad. Oh yeah. Do yourself the favor,
like
friends,
this,
and look them up. Look them up.
Hell
See,
yeah. I wish
there's.
you could see that.
Oh God, I know if you're watching. It's so bad. And it's like, that's about right. That's appropriate. Oh my God, the whole thing's on YouTube. Shut the fuck
hell
up.
yeah.
You can watch.
Go post that to the Reddit, will you?
Oh yeah, baby. You can watch the whole musical on YouTube. You didn't tell me the musical's 2.5 hours long. That's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
All right.
guys.
Well, next week.
Thanks
we're
for
watching
hanging out.
Valhalla Rising. Yeah. I'm disappointed. So I'm fine. I was fine to watch Shrek, and as I'm sure you've made it this far, I've enjoyed it. But I'm disappointed in everyone who voted for Shrek, and then didn't come back their shit up.
Yeah. I know. Come defend Shreks. Why do you
vote
love
for
him
Shrek?
so much?
And I even was like, come fucking tell me. I want to see the people be like, yeah, I am Shrek. I live Shrek. Here's I for it.
They're Shrek heads. They're like eating onions.
Well, because
I don't know,
Clones for People 2 had nothing but good things to say about Shrek, but I know for a fact he didn't vote for Shrek. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
It'd be weird if he did. But, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Shrek, the musical, next week. Stay tuned.
yeah.
Jordan's coming to visit me, and we're going to watch Shrek, the musical. That's what we're doing.
Really though. That'd be kind of fun.
hang out.
We should do that as a bonus episode.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah,
You guys
but then
you guys have
but then
fun.
you got to start drinking again because that's the only way.
I know it's really I'll make it through. All right.
All right. Well,
You crazy kid.
thanks for hanging in there with us. Next week, Valhalla Rising for real. Thanks to everyone that did vote and everyone that commented.
Well, I'll come Valhalla Rising. I'll have like my facts and things written down. I did nothing for this movie. I just came in.
And I think that's
no
why
knowledge.
my brother didn't watch it, so he didn't comment. Travis didn't watch it because he's too old for it. I gotta. All right. Well,
All right.
goodbye, I guess.
Good night, I guess, and good day.
Okay. Bye.